Joe Biden. Introduction. Joe Biden, the 46th President of the United States, has a success story characterized by resilience, public service, and dedication to the principles of democracy. Rising from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Biden's career spans over 5 decades of public service, including a long tenure in the U.S. Senate, 2 terms as vice president, and his eventual presidency. This article delves into the significant milestones and the challenges that shaped Joe Biden's journey to the highest office in the nation. Early life and education. Family background and early challenges. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born on November 20, 1942, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to Joseph Robinette Biden Sr. and Catherine Eugenia Finnegan Biden. His father worked as a used car salesman, and his mother was a homemaker. Biden's early years were marked by financial challenges as his family faced economic hardships, which instilled in him a deep understanding of working-class struggles. Education and overcoming adversity. Biden attended Archmere Academy, a prestigious Catholic high school in Claymore, Delaware, where he excelled in academics and sports. Despite his achievements, he struggled with a stutter, which he worked tirelessly to overcome. His determination to succeed academically and personally was evident as he graduated from Archmere Academy in 1961. He went on to attend the University of Delaware, where he double-majored in history and political science and was an active participant in student government. After graduating in 1965, Biden attended the Syracuse University College of Law, earning his Juris Doctor in 1968. His time at Syracuse was marked by both academic achievements and personal growth, as he continued to develop his public speaking skills and interest in law and politics. Early political career. Starting as a Newcastle County Councilman. Joe Biden's political career began shortly after law school when he was elected to the Newcastle County Council in 1970. His tenure as a councilman was characterized by his advocacy for environmental issues, urban development, and public transportation. Biden's ability to connect with constituents and his focus on practical solutions helped him gain valuable experience in local governance. U.S. Senate campaign and election. In 1972, at the age of 29, Biden ran for the U.S. Senate from Delaware. His campaign emphasized a message of change, focusing on civil rights, environmental protection, and improving public safety. Despite being considered an underdog, Biden won the election, becoming one of the youngest individuals ever elected to the Senate. His victory was a testament to his hard work, grassroots campaigning, and ability to resonate with voters. Tragedy and resilience. Shortly after his election, Biden faced a personal tragedy when his wife Nelia and their 1-year-old daughter Naomi were killed in a car accident. His 2 sons, Beau and Hunter, were critically injured but survived. Devastated by the loss, Biden considered resigning from the Senate but was persuaded to continue by his family and colleagues. He took the oath of office at his son's hospital bedside and began his Senate career with a deep sense of commitment to public service. Senate career. Focus on judiciary and foreign relations. During his 36 years in the Senate, Biden established himself as a prominent voice on judiciary and foreign relations issues. He served as the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, where he played a crucial role in shaping U.S. policy. Judiciary Committee leadership. As chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Biden oversaw important legislation related to criminal justice and civil liberties. He was instrumental in the passage of the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, in 1994, which provided federal resources to combat domestic violence and sexual assault. Biden's work on the Judiciary Committee also included efforts to address crime, drug policy, and civil rights. Foreign relations expertise. On the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Biden became known for his expertise in international affairs. He advocated for arms control agreements, including the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, START, and played a significant role in the Balkan conflicts of the 1990s. Biden's deep understanding of foreign policy and his ability to work across party lines contributed to his reputation as a knowledgeable and effective legislator on global issues. Legislative achievements. Throughout his Senate career, Biden was involved in numerous legislative efforts, including the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984. Biden played a key role in crafting this legislation, which addressed various aspects of criminal justice reform, including sentencing, drug enforcement, and law enforcement funding. The Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, this landmark legislation, which Biden helped draft, included provisions for increased funding for law enforcement, tougher sentencing laws, and the establishment of the Community-Oriented Policing Services (COPS) program. Bankruptcy Abuse Prevention and Consumer Protection Act of 2005. Biden was involved in the passage of this act, which reformed bankruptcy laws to prevent abuse while protecting consumer rights. Vice Presidency. Election as Vice President. In 2008, Biden was selected as the running mate for Barack Obama, the Democratic nominee for president. The Obama-Biden ticket won the election, and Biden was inaugurated as the 47th Vice President of the United States on January 20, 2009. His extensive experience in the Senate and his expertise in foreign policy were seen as valuable assets to the Obama administration. Key responsibilities and initiatives. As Vice President, Biden took on a wide range of responsibilities, including overseeing the implementation of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, ARA, of 2009. A stimulus package designed to counteract the effects of the Great Recession. His efforts focused on job creation, infrastructure development, and economic recovery. Foreign policy and diplomacy. Biden played a significant role in shaping U.S. foreign policy during his vice presidency. He led efforts to strengthen diplomatic relations with key allies and partners, including rebuilding relationships in Europe. Biden worked to restore U.S. relations with European allies, emphasizing cooperation on issues such as counterterrorism, climate change, and economic development. Ending the Iraq War. Biden oversaw the administration's efforts to end the U.S. military presence in Iraq, including managing the withdrawal of troops and supporting the Iraqi government's transition to self-governance. Handling the Ukraine crisis. During the crisis in Ukraine in 2014, Biden played a crucial role in coordinating U.S. and international responses, including imposing sanctions on Russia and supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Domestic policy leadership. In addition to his foreign policy responsibilities, Biden was actively involved in domestic policy initiatives, such as gun control. Following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012, Biden chaired a task force on gun violence, which proposed measures to reduce gun violence, including background checks and restrictions on high-capacity magazines. Cancer moonshot. After his son Beau's death from brain cancer, Biden spearheaded the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, aimed at accelerating cancer research and improving cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. 2020 presidential campaign. Decision to run. In 2019, Biden announced his candidacy for the Democratic presidential nomination for the 2020 election. His campaign focused on restoring the soul of America, addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, and rebuilding the economy. Biden's message of unity and his promise to build a better future resonated with many voters. Primary campaign and nomination. Biden faced a crowded field of Democratic candidates during the primary season. Despite initial setbacks, he gained momentum with a decisive victory in the South Carolina primary, which propelled him to a series of wins on Super Tuesday. Biden secured the Democratic nomination in June 2020 and selected Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate. General election and victory. The 2020 general election was marked by significant challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic, economic uncertainty, and political polarization. Biden's campaign focused on a comprehensive plan to address the pandemic, economic recovery, and social justice issues. His promise to restore competence and empathy to the presidency resonated with a broad coalition of voters. On November 3, 2020, Biden won the presidential election, defeating the incumbent President Donald Trump. He received over 81 million votes, the most in U.S. history, and secured 306 electoral votes. His victory was confirmed by the Electoral College in December 2020, and he was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States on January 20, 2021. Presidency. Key policies and initiatives. Biden's presidency has been marked by significant policy initiatives and efforts to address pressing national and global challenges. COVID-19 response and recovery. Biden prioritized a comprehensive response to the COVID-19 pandemic, including vaccination campaign. Biden launched a nationwide vaccination campaign aimed at achieving widespread immunity and ending the pandemic. The administration set ambitious vaccination targets and implemented measures to increase vaccine distribution and accessibility. American Rescue Plan. In March 2021, Biden signed the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act, providing economic relief to individuals, businesses, and state and local governments affected by the pandemic. The plan included direct payments, expanded unemployment benefits, and public health funding. Economic recovery and infrastructure. Biden's economic agenda has focused on rebuilding the economy and investing in infrastructure. Bipartisan infrastructure law. In November 2021, Biden signed the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law, funding roads, bridges, public transit, broadband, and clean energy projects. The law aimed to modernize America's infrastructure and create jobs. Build Back Better agenda. Biden proposed the Build Back Better plan, which included investments in social programs, climate initiatives, and education. Although the plan faced challenges in Congress, it represented a significant effort to address economic inequality and support working families. Climate action and environmental policy. Biden has made climate action a central focus of his administration. Rejoining the Paris Agreement. On his first day in office, Biden rejoined the Paris Agreement, signaling a renewed commitment to global climate action. He pledged to reduce U.S. greenhouse gas emissions and lead international efforts to combat climate change. Clean energy initiatives. Biden's climate agenda included investments in clean energy technology, electric vehicles, and energy efficiency. The administration aimed to achieve a carbon-free power sector by 2035 and net zero emissions by 2050. Social and racial justice. Biden's presidency has also addressed issues of social and racial justice. Advancing equity, Biden signed executive orders to promote racial equity, including measures to address housing discrimination, reform criminal justice, and support minority-owned businesses. Policing reform. In response to calls for policing reform, Biden advocated for the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which aimed to address police misconduct and improve accountability. Conclusion. Joe Biden's success story is a testament to his dedication to public service, resilience in the face of adversity, and commitment to democratic principles. From his early years in the U.S. Senate to his role as vice president and his presidency, Biden's career reflects his ability to navigate complex challenges and deliver meaningful change. His focus on addressing pressing issues such as the COVID-19 pandemic, economic recovery, and climate action underscores his determination to build a better future for all Americans.